Welcome back to the Perspectives of the Bible. Before we embark on today's enlightening journey, we invite you to take a moment to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. This simple act ensures you stay updated with our meticulously crafted content, designed to empower your journey of faith and enhance your spiritual growth. Today, we will delve deep into an extraordinary narrative, the profound interaction between Jesus and the woman at the well, as recounted in John 4:26. This account transcends mere historical record. It is brimming with transformative lessons tailor-made for each of us. This divine encounter is a rich tapestry woven with themes of boundary breaking, personal transformation, and the unwavering pursuit of spiritual renewal. To appreciate the depth of this narrative, let's first set the scene. Our story unfolds in Samaria, a region laden with historical enmity directed toward the Jewish people. Samaritans were often marginalized, viewed through a lens of disdain and hostility. Furthermore, women traditionally gathered water in the early morning hours when it was cooler and thus more comfortable. Yet, this particular woman deliberately opts for the hottest part of the day, noon. This choice is not trivial. It bears profound implications, revealing her strong desire to avoid the societal judgment and stigma that would accompany her presence among others. Identified not simply as a Samaritan, but as an outcast from her own community, her story resonates with deep significance. In choosing to engage her, Jesus takes a revolutionary stand against both societal conventions and cultural limitations. But why is this encounter so critical, you may wonder? It serves as a powerful lens into the central messages of Jesus' ministry, the deliberate dismantling of barriers that isolate us based on ethnicity, gender, or social status. In our contemporary lives, these divisions frequently arise from fears, biases, and the emotional scars bred by past experiences. This vital interaction teaches us that empathy and understanding are fundamentally important as we strive to overcome the biases that tend to linger within ourselves. Notice the brilliance in how Jesus initiates this conversation with a humble request for water. This moment of vulnerability is immensely telling. It highlights his genuine humanity and forges a connection between their otherwise disparate worlds. Herein lies an invaluable life lesson. Whether in the heat of conflict or simply when navigating chasms in relationships, be it personal, professional, or familial, approaching others with humility can ignite profound and meaningful engagements. As we delve further into their dialogue, we encounter a profound concept introduced by Jesus, the notion of living water, an evocative metaphor inviting her to explore her deeper spiritual needs. For the woman, who has been married 5 times and currently lives with a partner outside of marriage, this idea carries remarkable weight. Instead of condemning her, Jesus offers a compelling message of hope, a promise of personal transformation. He highlights her complex history, not as a tool for judgment, but rather to emphasize the boundless potential for healing and renewal that exists within each of us. This dynamic exchange encapsulates an invaluable truth. God meets us exactly where we are. No matter the mistakes or choices that have marked our past, His grace is perpetually accessible, illuminating paths toward genuine healing and transformative change. In seasons of feeling alienated by past choices or severely weighed down by regret, let this narrative remind us that Jesus sees us beyond our flaws, extending His compassionate hand, fulfilling our innate longing for belonging along our spiritual journeys. Let's pause to reflect personally on the barriers in our own lives. Think about the dynamics in your relationships. Are there individuals or groups you unintentionally overlook or exclude? The Samaritan woman serves as a mirror, reflecting our own predispositions and discomfort. This narrative compels us to ask, are we consciously aware of the individuals we may be marginalizing due to the biases or stereotypes shaped by societal norms? Embracing the lessons deeply embedded in this narrative creates pathways toward deeper connections, enabling us to diligently dismantle barriers obstructing our spiritual growth and communal development. As we contemplate this powerful story, let's resolve to acknowledge and confront our prejudices, extending the same compassion that Jesus demonstrated toward the Samaritan woman. Together, we can carve out pathways for authentic understanding, fostering connections that resonate with authenticity and depth. As we delve deeper into the encounter between Jesus and the woman at the well, we unveil a powerful framework for dismantling both social and spiritual barriers. This narrative, recounted in John 4, showcases how Jesus brilliantly navigates and transcends societal norms, proactively engaging with those who have been marginalized and mistakenly considered unworthy. To fully grasp the significance of this moment, we must immerse ourselves in the historical context. Samaria was fraught with a history of hostility, often considered off-limits for Jewish travelers. Yet Jesus intentionally chooses this path, illustrating how genuine spiritual connection transcends geographical, ethnic, and social confines, advocating for revolutionary new perspectives on love, acceptance, and communion. So, who exactly is the woman that Jesus approaches at the well? Her identity epitomizes a complex challenge, as she is both a Samaritan and a woman in a deeply patriarchal society. Arriving at the well during the oppressive midday heat symbolizes her efforts to evade societal judgment and the historical stigma surrounding her life. Unlike others who fetch water during the cool of dawn, she opts for the sweltering heat, confronting solitude and mistrust. By initiating conversation with her, Jesus not only offers compassion, but stands firmly in defiance against the cultural taboos that elevate her marginalization. As the conversation evolves, it morphs from a discussion about physical necessity to a profound exploration of spiritual longing. When Jesus speaks of living water, he offers a promise of eternal sustenance, not merely hydration for the body, but fulfillment that quenches the thirst of the soul. He addresses not only her immediate need for water, but her deep, existential longing for significance, acceptance, and love, elements crucial to our human experience. Engaging with her respectfully, Jesus systematically dismantles the social stigmas that have historically kept them apart. His tone radiates compassion rather than condemnation. It thrives on an invitation to elevation, deep connection, and mutual understanding. The pivotal takeaway is clear. Jesus meets her at the well not only physically, but also spiritually amid the chaos enveloping her life. He acknowledges her complicated past of multiple marriages not as a method of judgment, but as a foundation on which the potential for redemption and new beginnings is built. This moment challenges us to confront our own pasts. How often do we allow our missteps to shape our self-worth? Through Jesus, we discover pathways to redemption, instilling the courage necessary to break free from the stigmas that bind us. So, how can we integrate these insightful lessons from this narrative into our daily lives? Begin by engaging in intimate introspection. Scrutinize how you interact with those around you. Are societal stereotypes or ingrained biases constructing invisible walls that corrode your connections with others? Just as Jesus interacts with the Samaritan woman who is viewed as lesser by her community, by extending grace and respect, we too must adopt that approach. Through kindness, empathy, and authentic understanding, we can significantly enrich our relationships and daily interactions. Moreover, we must not overlook the transformative power of vulnerability in our conversations. Initially, the woman appears defensive. She instinctively guards herself against potential rebuke. However, as the discourse evolves, she bravely reveals her insecurities, her past, and her struggles. There's an undeniable strength juxtaposed with her vulnerability. This authenticity enables genuine connection. As she courageously shares her struggles, she ultimately catalyzes a broader community conversation about change, igniting transformative experiences for herself and those around her. Are we courageous enough to embrace vulnerability in our own lives? Will we allow our narratives to unveil the struggles of others and encourage them along their paths toward healing? The transformative essence of this woman's experience culminates in her newfound mission. After her profound encounter with Jesus, she rushes back to her village, ignited with excitement to share her experience with those who have previously ostracized her. Here, we confront an essential question. Are we prepared to step outside our comfort zones to share our own faith encounters? By letting go of societal barriers, we can create welcoming spaces where others can witness the compassionate love of Christ, just as the Samaritan woman did when she shared her truth. As we transition toward the conclusion of our exploration into the encounter between Jesus and the woman at the well, it is vital to reflect on the barriers that still fracture our society today. This biblical narrative serves not merely as a historical relic, it stands as a dynamic illustration of how Jesus persistently dismantled the prejudices that promote isolation and disconnection among us. The Samaritan woman represents the struggle of marginalization, intricately woven together by her gender and ethnic identity, further complicated by her challenging relationships. By reaching out to her, Jesus exemplifies that divine love transcends the barriers erected by societal constructs. This radical acceptance compels each of us to critically evaluate our own lives, interactions, and biases. Consider your daily encounters. Are there certain groups or individuals whom you subconsciously dismiss or overlook? What invisible barriers have you built that limit your ability to connect genuinely with others? Much like Jesus' mission, we are called to not only confront and dismantle these very walls, but also transform them into bridges that foster deeper, more meaningful relationships. Let us explore practical avenues to integrate these profound teachings into our everyday routines. Start by broadening your understanding of those different from yourself. Engaging in active listening, truly absorbing the stories and struggles of others fosters a rich tapestry of human connection. This open-hearted approach aligns beautifully with how Jesus treated the Samaritan woman with authentic respect, care, and compassion. Moreover, forgiveness plays an essential role in nurturing connections. Jesus acknowledges the woman's challenging past, extending grace while simultaneously providing a roadmap toward renewal. This gives rise to a compelling lesson that transcends mere acts of kindness. It guides us in how we respond to our own shortcomings. Holding on to burdens from past mistakes can stifle personal growth. Can we cultivate the grace necessary to forgive both ourselves and others? And can we embrace new beginnings that pave the way for positive transformations in our lives? We must also emphasize inclusivity within our communities as a fundamental strategy for bridging divisions. Actively participate in service initiatives aimed at fostering unity and understanding across various backgrounds. These engagements create opportunities for shared experiences and foster deep connections, embodying the genuine spirit of Christ. Lastly, let us embody the courage to openly share our faith journeys. The woman at the well radiates excitement as she recounts her transformative experience to her village, igniting curiosity and faith in those surrounding her. Evangelizing isn't simply about articulating doctrinal truths. It is about sharing the profound experiences of God's steadfast love manifested throughout our lives. Are you prepared to narrate your journey? Will you open up about the hurdles Christ has helped you overcome? Incorporate these insights into your daily life, understanding that breaking barriers represents an ongoing journey, one that necessitates both internal transformation and collective responsibility. The encouragement and hope embedded in Jesus' interaction with the woman at the well resound profoundly, reinforcing the belief that every person is inherently deserving of connection, understanding, and redemption. Embrace these principles enthusiastically and witness how they dramatically transform your relationships, nurturing a more compassionate and welcoming atmosphere within your community.